Hello, I'm Becky Saif. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we're going to create Lush ambient pads in Phaseplant. Now Phaseplant is a VST from kilohertz, and the process that we're going to do today is almost like granulating. So I normally use granulator 2 in Ableton, and this, if you are in my Twitch community, you will know I love doing this process. So I'm going to leave you a link to Phaseplant below so you can get your hands on this VST because it is amazing. It is so good. This is the patch that I have already made. I'm going to play it for you, then talk you through it and the reasons why I've done everything, and then we're going to initialize it and try to recreate it using the same sample. So this is the sample that I took. And plucks are really great for pads. So from that, this is what we have. And if I just turn off the other tracks here, because we have bass strings and we have a piano, now you can hear Phaseplant just soloed. And you can see here I've taken this pluck sample, created really short loops in 2 samplers, panned them both left and right, and then we've got an ADSR envelope on there, and we're modulating using the LFOs along the bottom, and we've thickened up the sound with a wavetable that has a filter on there, and then we've added our processing on the side here. So if you're new to Phaseplant and you have no idea what I've just said, then we're going to initialize this now, and I'm going to walk you through how you can set this up for yourself. So let's press new, and now we have a blank patch on which we can create our sound. So click here and you're going to go to sampler and then drag in your pluck, remembering that plucks are really great for creating pads because we're going to be looping small sections, and drag it and drop it into the sampler. Now I know that this pluck is in A minor, so go to the root over to the right and you're going to select A as your root note. Activate the loop and the unison, and now we have these loop markers here. So this is the start and this is the end of the loop. Take it to a section of the sample where there isn't a transient. So you've still got some tonal information in there, but there's no real harsh transient. And the sample is starting from the beginning because the offset here is set right at the beginning. So you could move the offset so that it starts somewhere inside this loop. Turn the gain up so you can hear it. Also with your loop, just make sure that it's on infinite and not one of the other settings. And now the crossfade, we want to increase this. If you look here, you can see 2 gray lines, like they're just moved to the side. This crossfade means that every time it cycles through that loop, it's going to smoothly go into the next cycle, and you're not going to get any like jagged restarts. Another thing with pads is slow attacks and slow releases. So if you imagine a pad, it's very elongated and smooth and moving in and out, and that comes from a slow attack and a slow release. And then you can also adjust your decay and sustain to your taste as well. So here we have the attack, let's increase it, and the release, increase that. You can also change the shape of the release and the attack. And we could increase the decay as well and maybe bring the sustain down. And as we're on the unison, maybe you don't want 4 copies of this sound. Maybe you want less or more. I like to go to 2 so that there's just 2 copies. And the detune, I like it around there. It's pretty nice. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to copy this now. So hold down on Alt and drag that down, and now you have 2 copies of your sound. You want to pan one to the left and the other one to the right. So now you have a stereo image of exactly the same sound, but we're going to adjust the second sound so it's something a little bit different. Now I like to go on to fifths. So we're getting a bit of harmony in there, and we're going to move the loop so that it loops a different section altogether. So I've just adjusted the loop there, so it's looping a different section. You might even want to change the way that it attacks and releases into this second sound. Increase the unison up to 4. Bring it back down because it wasn't very nice. Okay, lovely. The next thing we want to do is modulate the parameters of these two sounds. And to do that, you come down to the bottom here, click on it and add an LFO. Now your LFO, put it on unipolar mode and drag the range down so that it's a smaller range, and then reduce the speed of it as well. So we're doing that nice, slow, elongated movement in a small space. So if you just remember with pads, small things, slow and evolving, then you won't go wrong. So you click here on this little orange tab and you're going to now be presented with all the parameters that you can modulate. So let's modulate the start time. This is going to change the start time position depending on the LFO, so it means that it's not always going to be exactly the same sound every time. We can also add this LFO to a parameter on here. Maybe we want to add it to the offset. We could also add it to the start time of this one as well. And now you can hear that that transient is coming through. So what I would do is shorten this loop so that you're not getting any transient of the sample. Okay, the next thing is we want to add some body to our sound, and we can do that by inserting a wavetable. And you have your wavetables here, so if you click here where it says default wavetable, you can now go to saw to sine, for example, come out of it and drag this line so that you're going from the saw to the sine wave to find your desired sound. We also need to add an output because at the moment, if you see on the arrows here, there is no output from this wavetable. So we add an output, and now it's coming down into this output and out into the effects section. Again, a slow attack and a slow release. But the thing with this sound, as you can hear, it's pretty dominating over the other two now. So what we want to do is we want to add a filter, and it's default a low pass filter, and we can add another LFO and this time modulate the cutoff of this filter. But again, we want it on unipolar mode, drag down the range and also the rate at which it moves. And we're going to add this now to the cutoff. We could also add it to the Q, just a tiny little bit. And I'm going to change the cutoff here because I like it to be just a little bit more open. Right, so now we've made our sound, we're going to process it even further, and this is where more modulation is going to come in. So this is our effects section, lane 1, 2, 3. They go into each other from 1, 2 to 3. So the first thing you want to do is add some overdrive. Overdrive is really nice on pads, it just adds extra harmonics. Bring the mix down a little bit. And then another thing is delay. Ping pong delay is really nice. Going to put it on sync. Bring the feedback down. And really, to be honest, you could experiment with loads of different effects in here because lots of effects do work on pad sounds. So chorus is really nice if we add a chorus. We could also add a reverb. And remember, you can modulate these effects as well. So if we add another LFO down here, put it on unipolar again, so it's just going in one direction, bring down the rate, and then modulate. What could we go with? Let's go with the delay on the chorus. We could also add this to the feedback. Okay, cool. And pads are generally wider sounds in the stereo field, so there is also a stereo plugin that allows you to make this wider or narrower. We can bring the mid down and the width down, but now we can also modulate that so that it's moving in and out of the center image. So if we modulate there and we modulate the width, let's just increase them. And finally, on your sound, you might want to add a compressor. So compressor, just bring down your threshold so that you get a nice amount of gain reduction. You can go with a fairly fast attack on this because you're not preserving any transients. And you can see the gain reduction up here, just a couple of dB, and then increase the makeup. And another thing I like to do is randomize the LFO modulation. And there's also a random that you can add to the bottom here. If you smoothen it out so that it's not so jagged and stick it on unipolar mode again and bring down the slider so that it's not bouncing around the image, and then bring down the rate. So the same thing with all of these. So you're kind of following a similar pattern of that slow, elongated pad movement. And you can now add this to the parameters that you've already modulated with the LFO. And what it's going to do is it's going to randomize on top of the LFO movement. So you're creating even further randomization, and you'll never get the same copy or the same behavior movement throughout when your sound is playing, which is super nice. It's so nice. I love it. So I'm adding it to the parameters that I've already modulated in here. So we could do the mid and we could do the width. Let's just listen to everything. Ooh, there we go. We changed that. So we could bring this loop back. It's almost around the same area, really. I actually really like that as a texture. I think it's really nice. But also with granular, if you don't know what it is a process where it's just really small grains. So if you make these loops super small, you actually get a lot of those really interesting textures. really, really cool. I like it. So yeah, that's how you would go about creating your own pads inside Phaseplant. Get some plucks, take the parts where there's just some really small tonal information, loop it, modulate it, make sure it's elongated and slow and free-flowing and smooth. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. If you did, please give it a like, subscribe to the channel for more content like this, and let me know what you thought. Drop a comment below, and please spread the love and share this with whoever you feel needs to see it. I'm Becky Saif, and I will see you for another video.